Hello and welcome to the Sunday Night Race Club Division 2 here with myself, Andrew Gatton. I will be your host for tonight's race, and we're at Mexico tonight for what is round 13 of the championship. I'm going to just let everybody know where everybody is sitting in the championship at the moment. We have Heisenberg in the racing point. He is in the lead. Sternface in second. And might I say, there's only, if we put it this way, 2 points of a gap between first and second. And third is only about 3 points away as well. So, not a lot in it here in the championship. As Reed is in third place. In 4, we have EXO. In 5th, we have Kieran 140. In 6th, we have Parker in the Renault. In 7th, we have Panda in the Haas. In 8th, we have G-Man Gostar in the Red Bull. In 9th, we have Gadget Grandpa in the other racing point. In 10th, we have FDN in the Red Bull. In 11th, we have Dave in the McLaren. In 12th, we have Jim in the Mercedes. In 13th, we have Tifa Jack in the Ferrari. In 14th, we have Mini Smoke in the other Ferrari. In 15th, we have Rabsy in the Alpha Tauri. In 16th, we have Kolik in the Williams. In 17th, we have Brothers in the Mercedes. And in 18th, we have Mick Rumble in the Alfa Romeo. So, it does seem like we've got a few drivers that are only, I believe there's only 14 points between the top of the table and fourth at the moment, fourth on the table. So, it's a very, very close battle to see who's going to come out on top here on the Mexican Grand Prix. We're just waiting for a few of the drivers to continue to join the session. We have a short quali on. The car performance is exactly equal. We're on simulation damage and corner cutting stringency is on strict here, as usual. We have a 50% race distance as well. So, not much longer than about 45 minutes here. So, I'm just setting up a couple of things at the moment, just for everybody to see. That's me all ready for the race, and hopefully we're going to have a very good one as we're waiting for everybody to load in. Hopefully we see a few more drivers jumping in tonight. We've only got about 13 drivers on the grid at this moment. So, it looks like it's going to be a fantastic race here in Mexico. I love the Mexico circuit because of its high altitude and weird angles at which the track drives. I've noticed as well that when you're driving around in the car, that you can actually feel the surface underneath you, which is another thing that I absolutely love in this track. The abrasive circuit of Bahrain, as we saw today in the real life F1, isn't exactly the same here. It's actually quite slidey around turns 3 and 4 here. I'm looking down at the hairpin right now. It's quite a nasty one to get wrong. You can lose a lot of places. Just waiting for Gadget Grandpa to load into the session. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully everybody is going to enjoy today's race. If you'd like to tune into some of the driver streams that are happening today, we've obviously got the Division 1 stream running, and we've also got some of the drivers in Division 2, they're streaming their point of views. So if you would like to jump in between the main stream and their stream, you're very welcome to do that. Okay, so we're just now on our 18 minutes of short quali here. We've got 12 drivers on the grid so far. Hopefully we get maybe one or two more. The philosophy of the Sunday Night Race Club is just to have a good time and have fun driving with your mates. So definitely going to be a little bit of battle going on, but at the same time, everybody's all friends here. They're all just having a bit of fun. Just waiting to get everything set up, so I'll just set up the screen when we're waiting. So if we do the full map there. As we see the SNRC Rabzi leave the pits first in his Alpha Tauri. Big long main straight. Obviously drivers are going to be trying to warm up their tyres. That's both Alpha Tauri, so both teammates decided to hop out into the track at the moment, as we see the rest of the drivers not necessarily thinking about going out just yet. So they must be making sure their engineers are putting on the right setup. And we've got Reed, who is driving in the Alfa Romeo for this season. Jim just behind in what could only be described as Bottas's car. Sorry, I thought that said number 77, but he's actually number 97. My apologies. And we've got one of the Haas cars out on the grid now here. This is Colna Panda. He's gone out in the mediums, so he could be looking to be making up a couple of good positions here as Mini Smoke has joined the session. He's been instantly kicked, it seems, which isn't very good. So SNRC Dave is now on a flying lap, so we'll sit on board with him throughout this lap. We'll just watch and see what he manages to do. And Kieran 140. Nice on the brakes there, he's not pumping them too hard. Very nice job from him through the front end of the track. SNRC Rabsy also following him. Nice slide from him through there. The other Alpha Tauri of Sternface. Goes fastest, now 1:15.2. Rabsy, his teammate, not too far behind. Oh, we got a yellow flag in Sector 1. I do believe he's just abandoned his lap time. Sternface. He's just kind of going back into the pits. There we go. We're set up to go. So you see SNRC Dave has posted a faster lap. SNRC Jim manages to set a 1:14.492. I'm expecting to see between the 1:12s and the 1:13s here at the moment as the track is starting to get rubbered in. Still a good 5-6 drivers in the pits at the moment. That's to be expected though. A few of the drivers will be wanting to be waiting to unleash their soft tyres. Dave not going too fast through the final sector of the track. We see EXO really hooking the lap together here. He must be going for a flying lap. Hooks it nicely together, coming into sector 3. Really nicely done from him. Not too slow, but not jeopardizing his lap time. Very nicely done from him. I don't believe he managed to improve on his time though. Not much of a difference. He's still sitting in 4th position. And we got G-Man Glovester coming through in the Red Bull. We saw that car absolutely demolished today, the RB16B, which seems to be very fast this year. This is obviously just the RB16, as we are only in Formula 1 2020, and he has just invalidated his lap time there. Very unfortunate for him. Mini Smoke managing to get into the session. And this is him on his flying lap, which I'm assuming isn't going to count because it's a 1 minute, 2 minutes time there. We've got Jack is on an outlap now. Still a few of the drivers just holding back from coming out onto the track at the moment. They're just sitting in the pit lanes, and he's just invalidated his lap, unfortunately. G-Man just about to see if he can go for a second lap. Kieran's going to try and see if he can get a faster lap time. Yeah, he's realised that he was a little bit off his pace at that point, so he is on his outlap. He's going to warm his tyres up a little bit. He's got time, he's got space. I do believe the McLaren of Dave is just coming up behind him now. It's actually EXO. Got to say, I am a big fan of the McLaren of this year. I was of last year's as well. It seems like McLaren is finally coming back into the order after so long of falling further and further behind the pack. They've managed to equalise themselves, and I think it's very worth the time spent. And he's coming into the pit. Few drivers just on their outlaps at the moment. Kieran's on his lap right now. We'll maybe stay on board with him for a little bit, as there's not really many people going hard at the moment. It's interesting as well because he is on soft tyres, but Panda's managed to post his best lap on mediums, which is quite interesting to see. But purple sector 1 there from Kieran. Coming through sector 2 now. He's just about to get purple there as well. He's purple on sector 2. Hooking up into sector 3 now. Really tight hairpins. The major large S's. He nearly off-tracked himself there, but he managed to hold it. English Andrew. Very nicely done from him to go second fastest. He's only 0.1 something, 0.1.5 off of taking first off of Jim in the 114s. The track is obviously getting a little bit more rubbered in. So very well done from Kieran. SNRC Jim is actually going to go faster. Wonder if this is going to be the 113 that we're going to love. He's just off the pace there. He hooked up sector 1 and 2, but didn't manage to nail it. But Rabsy is now being kicked from the session. Formula 1 and its fantastic server access. He managed to improve his time just. It was only by about 0.1 there at the end, but he did manage to do it. Kieran looks like he's just going back to the pit lane. The drivers now just sitting in the pits. We're going to probably see very little action on the track for the next couple of minutes while all the drivers are getting new tyres on and waiting to come out again. Stern Face doing some very good driving here. He was going pretty fast there. He's still a little bit off the pace. He's sitting in 6th at the moment. He's a little bit slower for sector 3 than he would have liked. But he done very well to maintain the track very well and pulled himself back into position. So you see all the drivers are pretty much in the pit. SNRC Dave is back out on track again in his McLaren. He's doing an outlap. Doing a bit of expensive grass cutting, it seems, for Stern Face. Good thing he's going back to the pit lane. Here we go, we've actually got the Alfa Romeo of SNRC Reed coming out of the pit lane now. He's sitting third fastest at the moment. I'm sure that's not where he wants to be sitting. He wants to be a little bit faster than that. But yeah, SNRC Jim has gone back into the pits now. He's obviously waiting for his opportunity to come out again and get that final lap so nobody can beat it. SNRC Reed doing very well on his outlap to maintain his tyres. SNRC Dave now. He's gone fastest in sector 2. He's going to be looking to go faster again in sector 3. Nicely done from him. Using the curbing just enough. Just a little bit slower through the middle sector. TFFA Jack Going to be looking to go a little bit faster in the Scarlet Red Ferrari. Another car that had a little bit of a surprise showing today at Bahrain. Charles Leclerc driving it. Given it did fall down the order a little bit, but Charles definitely put it on the place where he needed to be. But I do believe he's definitely invalidated his lap after doing that. Many smoke at the moment, still to set a lap time. A little bit of a lock up there of his right front. Looping through sector 2, one of my favourite parts of the track. Coming into sector 3 now. Big section of the track where everybody's screaming and shouting. I absolutely love this. The one thing I love about the Mexican Grand Prix, if you were Sergio Perez, it's just a dream come true. Mini Smoke managing to post a 1:17.0. I could have believed he was going a lot faster than that, but he didn't manage to set a very good sector 1 or sector 2 time, so that would be down to his own problems there. G-Man Glovester. In the only Red Bull, not including the Alpha Tauris, on the grid, he's 1:18.05 at the moment. I'm sure you'll be wanting to go a little bit faster than that. Cars sitting off the track waiting for him. I think that's, very fair. Good usage of the curbs. But yeah, again, very nicely done through sector 2. He isn't going to be going rakes faster, but he's definitely going to be faster than this time before, I'm pretty sure, I do believe. I'm not too sure now, actually, seeing that. Yes, he is. Managed to put himself ninth on a 1:16.7. Still haven't seen that magical 1:13 yet, so it'll be interesting to see if we're going to see it. I think Jim's decided he doesn't need to do any more. It's as fast as he can go. He just decided to come into the pits. Kieran, though, is managed to qualify on medium tyres, so he's just trying to show that he's got a faster time. I wouldn't want to be doing that. I would rather stay on the mediums in all fairness, but if he is thinking that he can start the race better on softs, then by all means he can definitely do that. That's Jack that's following him just in the slipstream. Haas car's not been the best when it comes to overall power and speed, but they definitely have a distinct feeling about them. And there we go. Most of the drivers in the pits have obviously said enough is enough. But as we see, the only two drivers to come in are Jack, Kieran, and he's decided to abort his lap. Maybe he's decided that he was going to go on the mediums at last minute. But G-Man Glovester thinks he can go faster again as he's a bit wild through sector 2 there. Still really nicely done from him on the soft tyres. It's a really grippy car, that Red Bull. Nice, using the rumble strips to slow down a little bit. Coming into sector 3. A little bit wide. That's going to cost him a bit of time there. Definitely isn't going to be as fast as he was before. And he's decided to dive into the pits. And I do believe that will conclude the qualifying session for the Sunday Night Race Club Division 2. So, now we'll have a look at our standings. Going into first position, we have Jim. In second, we have Reed. In third, we have Kieran. In fourth, we have Siskulna Panda in the other half. In fifth, we have Sternface. In sixth, we have Exo. In seventh, we have Dave. In eighth, we have Rabsy. In ninth, we have G-Man Glovestar. In 10th, we have TFFA Jack. In 11th, we have Mini Smoke. In 12th, we have Gadget Grandpa. And in 13th, we have Meat Rumble. And that concludes today's qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix here with the Sunday Night Race Club. Now we're just waiting for all the drivers to load into the next session, which is going to be the 50% race of Mexico. Does look like it's going to be a good race tonight, though. A lot of fast guys in the group. I'll be interested to see how the racing goes out, and hopefully there's not a lot of contact. Commentated on a league last Sunday, and I was just a little bit annoyed at the amount of contact that I saw that was just not warranted. So hopefully these guys can give us a good race. So we're still waiting for the session to load, it seems, in my game. So much for a wired connection. Sorry for the lack of comms tonight. I was up early this morning doing a Spanish F1 league. I was hoping I was going to have a co-commentator for tonight, but unfortunately my co-commentator actually had a race himself. So we decided that it was probably best that I do the commentating of my race and he races his. But yeah, Mexico. One track that I know a lot from driving multiplayer on this game. It seems to come up every time. And it's just a little bit annoying, but you know, you get used to it after a while. Actually, part of the reason why I actually stopped playing the F1 game over Christmas was just because I was just getting a little bit annoyed with the amount of times that Mexico and Austria was coming up. I just wanted to race like Melbourne and Shanghai and just have a bit of fun. Try Bahrain. I don't think I've ever played a multiplayer game with Bahrain. Baku was once, but it always just seems to be Mexico and Austria, and it really does get quite repetitive on the game. We're still loading into the game. Seems to be, for me, a massive connection issue. It does seem that my connection to the server is just decided to work. We're literally going to see it as lights out here, and it is going to be a bit of a warm-up lap. At least it's a warm-up lap, and we're not going straight into racing. Fantastic. You love it when the F1 game decides that it's not going to load you into the session in time. But anyway, vigorous warming up of the tyres from the guys in the middle of the grid there. Two Haas cars. As you see, Jim and Reed, both Sunday Night Race Club drivers, getting ready to start the race. Been driving a lot of Assetto Corsa recently, the Competizione. It's a lot of fun, that game. I've really missed driving in it. But as you see, we've got a predicted pit stop strategy of around about 2 pit stops, and they're going to just jump on the soft tyres. But in reality, in most F1 games and every other F1, is you have to use 2 sets of tyres, 2 different types of tyres. So I can't expect them to be jumping soft and soft, and then soft again, because that would be against the rules. But we'll see how it goes. So we see the drivers all lining up on the grid now. Looks like it's going to be a good race. Here we are, 5 red lights, and off we go for the Sunday Night Race Club Mexican Grand Prix. Jim gets off very well off the line. Reed coming on the inside could have him down into turn 1, and it is. He's going to come in just, they're very close to touching. Very nice driving from them. Good work from Jim to keep his position there, but Reed is now under pressure from Kieran. Kieran's pushing hard. He's applying pressure. Coming through sector 2 now. still is Jim, Reed and Kieran. Very close racing from these guys. Back of the pack, Sternface gets in front of Jack. See EXO, he's chasing down a little bit. We're going to see a lot of action here on the first few laps of the racing here. TFA tries to have a go down the inside on G-Man as G-Man takes another position. He's taking the position of Jack. Jack seems to be going down the order a little bit. Here we go, the predicted pit stop strategies. We're going soft, medium probably for these guys. This is Golna Panda. Very well to maintain 5th position. But EXO has managed to put himself apparently up into the lead, but he's not. Because welcome to the F1 game, as Jim is still in the lead, as Reed and Kieran battling out behind. Kieran's pushing hard. And then as Haas counterpart, Panda are pushing. EXO not too far behind them. But Kieran's going to want to stay within that margin now as we come into lap 3 of the race. DRS is obviously enabled then. We have 3 DRS zones in Mexico. Work from Kieran to just keep in that gap now as DRS is now enabled for this lap. If he can maintain it through the first chicane at sector 1, he is going to do good things here as he's right behind Reed. There's literally nothing in it. He is sitting on his wing. Will we see a bit of a defense as Reed is trying to go to the outside? See nothing on it, but he still manages to make a position. He's making his position known to Reed that he is there. 0.8 between it now as Reed gets off pretty well. He's 1.3 off of the leader, which is Jim. Gadget Grandpa having a go. You watch as he's having an on-track battle at the moment. Gadget Grandpa pushing reasonably hard. Not too far behind Dave in the other McLaren. He is just within DRS range. As he opens up that small flap at the back of the rear wing there. Nice and late on the brakes. He knows that car very well. But it seems to be just one big DRS train as we see. Reed is now falling behind as Kieran takes the position back. Sorry, Kieran takes the position on the track. Reed is not going to let him have it though. He's definitely making a position. Sternface gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for off tracks, I'm assuming. Very close indeed, as Kieran is just falling further and further behind Jim. It does seem like the race is turning into Jim's hot lapping session. Rabsy gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. Reed has opened up that DRS and is just pushing. He's trying to stay within the toe of Kieran, but it's just proving very difficult as Kieran is a very fast guy. EXO is still he's actually falling back on Panda now. EXO actually gets a 3-second time penalty for off tracks. Good line through there, and we see Panda's now right on the rear wing of Reed as well. Reed's just seeming to go back a little bit. Panda's just waiting to hoover up the mess. Love that camera down the main straight. Reed is just trying to get his position back on Kieran down that main straight. But is it going to be enough to get him on this next bit? Panda gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It does seem like it's going to be a large occurrence here. Racing in Mexico. These three drivers at the front just pushing each other on for a good race. Sternface is pushing EXO now. EXO has actually lost quite a considerable amount of time. Sternface is probably going to push him. Sternface is about 0.7 away. We'll go back to our battle at the front of the pack and see, hopefully, we don't miss too much. As these three guys are just continually battling it out. Two Haas's on the outside. And Reed in the middle. All Ferrari power. Twin turbo Ferrari engine. V6. DRS going down there as it seems that Kieran's having to use quite a lot of ERS there to get his position. Kieran's now 4 seconds behind Jim as Jim's just leading away. Obviously, not having to deal with a bit of a battle here. But now Reed is under pressure again from Panda. Panda's trying to find a way around him. Good job from Panda as he's pushing now. Reed is still 0.7 behind Kieran, so this could be a lap where Kieran's not going to have a lot of ERS and it could be time. Meat Rumble gets a 3-second time penalty. Seem that Kieran's been harvesting that whole lap pretty much, trying to get as much energy as possible, but every DRS zone he's just deploying all that overtake energy. Electrical energy gives an extra 80 horsepower to the rear wheels of that Alfa Romeo and the Haas car as well. It's the same with every car. Near enough, give or take. SNRC Reed now pushed just a little bit more as Panda's looking for him to make a mistake. Gadget Grandpa now up into 7th position. EXO's lost a place to Sternface. And that is Kieran's dove into the pits now to change tyres. He's now initiated his battle plan. while Reed takes his position back in second. But Panda's pushing to the outside. He's obviously on the medium tyres now. He's going to have a bit of an advantage as the soft tyre out. Most soft tyre runners are on about 10 to 11 lap old tyres now. So the few drivers that have opted to go medium will be definitely doing good as Panda takes his position. He's now second. Reed tried to find a way around, but it wasn't enough. As Dave has went into the pits. See where that actually, or is he's had a battle somewhere? But Dave has definitely taken back the position that he lost. As I'm assuming he has changed tyres, he's now on the medium set. Stern face there. He took the position off of Exo, but he had to go into the pits. Meet Rumble also diving into the pits. Gadget Grandpa still out on his soft tyres. Reed still all over the back of Panda now. But now that Panda's in front, the gap to leader has dropped significantly. Panda's definitely a fast guy on those medium tyres now. .2 away from Reed. As we see now on board with Dave as he's pushing Rabsy. But both Jim and Reed decide to jump into the pits together. Kieran has posted fastest lap in his Haas car, as he is going to be back into contention very soon, as he's now in second position. Love Star's being given a 3-second penalty. I'm assuming that's going to be first of many for a lot of people. Love Star actually pushes deep into sector 3. Dave is still having a bit of a battle for position here. As Rabsy's just spun off at sector 1. We just witnessed that. As that's Rabsy's now out of the race. Just a little too much power as he was trying to get past Dave. And all drivers now slowing down to obey the virtual safety car rules. This will bunch up the pack a little bit more now. Panda decided that he was going to pit anyway, so that's going to help him out. And there's the leaders. Now he's actually come out near enough in second position. He definitely has made the most out of that virtual safety car. He was so lucky there when that incident happened, just out of this point here actually. You can see where the car went off. But Kieran is in first, Panda is now in second, and Jim is in third. Excellent pit strategy from the Haas drivers. They couldn't have predicted that, but they somehow did. Whoever thought of that is a genie. We are now a third of the way through the race here in Mexico, as the air seems to look a little bit humid. Now track temperatures are going to be a little bit through the roof in some areas. So we've got a little bit of a glitch there from Kieran. But these three drivers are back at it again, obviously this time without Reed, but with Jim. Unfortunately, there's not many other drivers going on with a bit of a battle right now, as Exo's actually down in 12th position. Obviously last of the remaining runners, but not last overall at the moment. Jim has managed to get past Panda down the main straight. Panda will be pushing a little bit more to get back up there. Just behind, you can see Reed is about 5 seconds behind now. Panda's lost a lot of time there now. I don't know what's gone wrong, if he's got damage to his car. He's going really slow. Be safe to assume that he's maybe got a problem. Well, it's not a technical problem as he's staying out, but he was really slow through that last section of the lap. He's actually lost 3 seconds on Jim, and Jim's now overtaking Kieran for the lead again. Kieran's not going to let him get away though. We do have a virtual safety car out, as Mini Smoke, I do believe, has gone off. He has gone off down one of the straights here. I think that was on turn 3. Yeah, he's got serious damage to the front of his Ferrari there. He's lost all that end plates. He's going to need to pit to get a nose repair. It's very much a shame. He was trying to get back up the track. And there we go. Jack has been given a drive through, and Exo is retired from the session. Jim only 0.4 now. Oh, Jim squeezing Kieran to the outside. Very nice stuff from him, as we're now no longer under yellow flag virtual safety car running. Good work from Jim to just, he's holding Kieran back. He knows that if he holds him back a little bit, he can get Reed, his teammate, right up behind him. Talking of AMD, I just saw it on the side of the Mercedes, obviously. I am getting a new PC soon, so that's going to be a lot of fun for myself. Hopefully I'll be able to get the F1 game, F1 2020 or F1 2021, by the time that's all sorted out, on my PC, and do some more comms jobs on there if there's some available. And now all the racing has died down a little bit, as Gadget Grandpa is only 0.7 away from Dave. sorry guys, but you'll unfortunately have to excuse me for 2 seconds as I'm going to have to quickly nip to the toilet. I'll be no longer than 5 minutes. But I'll keep this battle going because I have a feeling that Gadget Grandpa is going to be at this for a good 2 or 3 laps. So I will be back. I do apologise about that, guys, but I haven't been feeling too well today, so Gadget Grandpa's still chasing down Dave for 6th position. It's not looked like that there's been much change in the order. Seems to be like the only battle that's going on track at the moment. On board with stern faced. Quite a lot of the drivers now actually having some sort of penalty. In saying that, only 3 drivers haven't got penalties, which is very unfortunate for them. Panda's coming through sector 3 now. There's been a definite gap that's formed. The leader. And here we go. Gadget Grandpa is now close enough to have a go at Dave, but whether he can do it or not. we go through the DRS detection zone. Whether he gets DRS or not, I doubt it, because he was larger than 2 seconds going through there. He was very slow coming through the end of Sector 2 there. Don't know what he was, what he had done wrong, but he's now out of contention with Dave for 6th position at this moment. "16 laps to go for the Mexican Grand Prix here. Kieran 140, holding the car very well through there. It's a nice camera watching from the aerial view. Watching him as he's going through all those S's. Stern face is quite a considerable gap away at the moment from anybody. He seems to have completely alienated himself from the rest of the pack. He's going to stay 15th at the moment. Some good driving from all drivers at the moment. Nothing too drastic. Not really many track battles, as Gadget Grandpa is getting close enough to Dave again to make an attack. But again, he's just a little bit slower through Sector 3 than he would like. Every time he gets close, he seems to almost blow his chance. But we'll soon have another round of pit stops. As Kieran manages to get past, as Jim decides for his pit stop, as we said it. Gadget Grandpa is now in the red when it comes to time. Unfortunately got another time penalty to his name. Only time penalty to his name, as there's only 2 drivers left in the grid without a time penalty. I do believe there's only, all drivers have got about a 3 second at least in near enough. Driver that is sitting technically in the lead, Jim, we're on board with now. He's made his stop. And there we go, a few drivers are now in the pit lane. Gadget Grandpa made his pit stop. actually see now as DFA Jack is making a chase down on Gloucester. Oh, bit loose through there. But he is right over the tail of that Red Bull. Scarlet Red Ferrari. Oof. Kicking it wide a lot with the hard tyres. And here we're going to see the Ferrari just chickening out there. He could have kept his foot in, and he was actually going to be in front of G-Man, and G-Man would have then been in the wrong if he hit him. So we're going to see the DRS open on the car. You can tell that G-Man is using all... Ooh, damage again for Jack as he wasn't paying any attention to the car in front of him. It's very unfortunate. It all happens to the best of us, unfortunately. Jim is now all over the back of Reed. We are 2/3 of the way there to the end of the race, and we have Jim, who is just pushing Reed now. I wonder if he's trying to get him to go a little bit faster, so that he can catch up a little bit to Panda. But in all fairness, some good driving skill here from both drivers to maintain distance. Jim has got DRS. Unfortunately, by the time this race finishes, you're not going to be able to get post-race interviews for tonight, as I've got some stuff that I need to finish off for tomorrow morning. So I do apologise to anybody that was looking forward to post-race interviews. I have unfortunately had to call that off for tonight. Jim is now in the lead. I do believe Reed just let him pass. There is no need for him to fight it. He knows that Jim's a fast guy. And there's Mini Smoke's car still going around the circuit. Meat Rumble has been given a 3-second time penalty. And he's going to be going on to the softs for the last stint of the race here. But we're back in the same rough order that we were at the start of the race, and it will be just a sprint to the line now, as we have just got under 10 laps to go. Jim, our current leader, he's pretty much been fighting for the lead throughout. He got a good lead at the start, had a couple of mistakes, but held it together in the end and continued to push to the end there. Very well done from him. Just wishing my buddy Noodle a good race tonight in the in the league he's racing in. He's going to have a good one, hopefully. Spanish Grand Prix. DFA Jack getting another 3-second time penalty. Be interesting to see where everybody ends up finishing the race. But G-Man only 1.3 away from Meat Rumble. Coming down in Sector 3 of the racetrack. Sorry, make that Sector 1. Jim is now about 2 seconds ahead of Kieran, who is in second place at the moment. All these guys have made their pit stops. We'll put the position change thing on, as we can see Gadget Grandpa and Meat Rumble have made 5 places up, and SNRC Dave has also made a position up. But there's not much position changes other than that. Reed may have qualified in second position, but he's down in 4th at the moment. Most drivers making about 2 to 3 stops now. Safe to assume that the top 3 are no longer needing to stop. We'll put the telemetry on and we'll watch this lap with Jim. Kieran's only 1.4 behind now. As it seems he's balancing that overtake button. He's literally just using it out of the corners to get a faster acceleration, which is a very good idea from him. Kieran just behind. Only a second in it now, coming up to the line. Kieran obviously about 40% ERS. He could probably use overtake right now and manage to get a little bit faster. See that Jim's given it everything he has in these last 6 laps to keep Kieran behind him. Kieran's just pushing. He wants to try and get the position here. Only 0.8 in it now. Only 0.5 as Kieran's managed to push past Jim. Kieran obviously fresher tyres on the softs. He'll be wanting to push to the end now. Only 5 laps to go of the race. And that's now Jim is slowing down a little bit on those tyres as now Panda's catching him. Gonna be a close one. All three of these drivers pushing each other on. Both drivers got full DRS there, and we see Panda was going to go for it. He was going to try and send it down, but Jim covered him off. Yellow flag in sector 1. Jim's still struggling now as Panda's managed to get past him. There's not too much on it, but Panda has managed it, and Jack is getting another 3-second time penalty. He must have been about 9-second time penalties now. He's going to be falling behind in the order when he finishes, unfortunately. This is calling Panda. Chasing down his teammate. He's going to have a go coming into turn 1. Brings it wide. He's going to tuck it nicely in front of him. Very nicely done from Panda to take the lead in the last 3 laps of the Sunday Night Race Club Mexican Grand Prix with a Division 2, guys. Kieran is just trying to get that position back. It's going to be a close one down to the line. I don't think Jim has any tyres left to push with. He's not got any rubber left to push with, so he's going to have to settle for third, it seems, unless he has something left in the tank. But we saw on board, unless he's saving ERS, which I doubt, he's not really got too much of a chance here. Kieran nicely done through there. He's now 0.9 behind. He's going to get DRS, it seems, on Panda to just keep on maintaining pace. There we go. We see that rear flap just about to open. He's not going to get it, which is kind of silly. He should have had DRS coming down there. He was no longer than a second from the guy in front of him, Panda. But he did manage to keep in the slipstream, so he's definitely got DRS this time, which he's not using. They must be wanting to keep this the way it is for the remainder of the race. It could be a little bit of team orders here. A little bit of a back marker trouble. It's Dave. Or I do believe it is Dave. I think that might be EXO. It is Dave, as he was letting them past. Very nicely done. Kieran doing very well to maintain pace. Again, this must be, he's not trying to use DRS on his teammate at all here. They're just trying to maintain a Haas 1-2, it seems, for once in a lifetime opportunity in Formula One. 2 laps left here in Mexico City. This is Golna Panda. It's now second ahead of his teammate. Jack's having a little bit of an on-track battle now with Gadget Grandpa. Coming into Sector 3. Really nice camera view here. We watch as all the cars come round. We're now on the final lap. This Golna Panda is still pushing, but it does look like Jack is going to get past Gadget Grandpa. And whether that's going to make too much difference in the results or not, we'll find out. Nicely done from him, passing nicely on the start-finish straight. There we see this is Golna Panda. Gonna take it down to the line through Sector 3 now. Very nice battle for first, second, third and fourth here in the Mexican Grand Prix. It's been pretty eventful here for the remainder of the time we've been live. And there we go, as Golna Panda takes the win here at Mexico. Kieran in second, and that's Jim taking third position, as we're going to see Reed cross the line for fourth. And Gadget Grandpa gets a 5-second time penalty for an unserved stop goal. So that could mean something in the grand scheme of things. He might have to hand his position back to Jack, but I would highly doubt that due to Jack having about 9 seconds worth of penalties throughout the race. But there we go, as all the drivers now are finishing the race. I think Sternface is the only one to cross the line now as he finishes his final lap. There we go. Excellent drive from all the drivers here at Mexico City. Gadget Grandpa gets a driver of the day for his excellent drive. I would definitely agree. And there we are, the two Haas guys on the podium. Looks surprisingly like Michael Schumacher, but we'll just let the two Haas Michael Schumachers take it out on each other, which is fantastic. Well done to all the drivers. Really good race from everybody. Anyway, here is your results of today's session, as obviously some have changed. In first position we have Panda, in second we have Kieran, in third we have Jim, in fourth we have Reed, in fifth we have Sternface, in sixth we have Dave, in seventh we have Gadget Grandpa, in eighth we have Jack, in ninth we have Glovester, in 10th we have Meat Rumble, in 11th we have Mini Smoke, in 12th we have EXO, and in 13th we have Rapsy. That concludes today's session at the Grand Prix in Mexico. If you would like to see more from this channel on Twitch, feel free to follow, and definitely check out all the other races that we've had before this. thank you very much for tuning in today, and we'll hope to see you next week. Stay safe, guys.